and the trail. He hurried to meet her. Her arms were full, and she allowed him to take a part of her load. With what Jean had brought, this was all that was to go in Philip's canoe, and the half breed remained to help them off. "You will go straight across the lake," he said to Philip. "If you paddle slowly I will catch up with you." Philip seated himself near the stern, facing Josephine, and Jean gave the canoe a shove that sent it skimming like a swallow on the smooth surface of the lake. For a moment Philip did not dip his paddle. He looked at the girl who sat so near to him, her head bent over in pretense of seeing that all was right, the sun melting away into rich colours in the thick coils of her hair. There filled him an overwhelming desire to reach over and touch the shining braids, to feel the thrill of their warmth and sweetness, and something of this desire was in his face when she looked up at him, a look of gentle thankfulness disturbed a little by anxiety in her eyes. He had not noticed fully how wonderfully blue her eyes were until now, and soft and tender they were when free of the excitement of fear and mental strain. They were more than ever like the wild wood violets, flecked with those same little brown spots which had made him think sometimes that the flowers were full of laughter. There was something of wistfulness, of thought for him in her eyes now, and in pure joy he laughed. "Why do you laugh?" she asked. "Because I am happy," he replied, and sent the canoe ahead with a first deep stroke. "I have never been happier in my life. I did not know that it was possible to feel as I do." "And I am just beginning to feel my selfishness," she said. "You have only thought of me. You are making a wonderful sacrifice for me. You have nothing to gain, nothing to expect but the things that make me shudder. And I have thought of myself alone, selfishly, unreasonably. It is not fair. And yet this is the only way it can be." "I am satisfied," he said. "I have nothing much to sacrifice except myself." She leaned forward with her chin in the cup of her hands, and looked at him steadily. "You have people?" "None who cares for me. My mother was the last. She died before I came north." "And you have no sisters or brothers?" "None living." For a moment she was silent. Then she said gently, looking into his eyes: "I wish I had known that I had guessed before I let you come this far. I'm sorry now, sorry that I didn't send you away. You are different from other men that I have known, and you have had your suffering. And now I must hurt you again. It wouldn't be so bad if you didn't care for me. I don't want to hurt you because I believe in you." "And is that all? Because you believe me?" She did not answer. Her hands clasped at her breast, she looked beyond him to the shore they were leaving. "You must leave me," she said then, and her voice was as lifeless as his had been. "I am beginning to see now. It all happened so suddenly that I could not think. But if you love me you must not go on. It is impossible. I would rather suffer my own fate than have you do that. When we reach the other shore you must leave me." She was struggling to keep back her emotion, fighting to hold it within her own breast. "You must go back," she repeated, staring into his set face. "If you don't you will be hurt terribly, terribly." And then, suddenly, she slipped lower among the cushions he had placed for her, and buried her face in one of them with a moaning grief that cut to his soul. She was sobbing now, like a child. In this moment Philip forgot all restraint. He leaned forward and put a hand on her shining head, and bent his face close down to hers. His free hand touched one of her hands, and he held it tightly. "Listen, my Josephine," he whispered. "I am not going to turn back. I am going on with you. This is our pact. At the end I know what to expect. You have told me, and I, too, believe. But whatever happens, in spite of all that may happen, I will still have received more than all else in the world could give me. For I will have known you, and you will be my salvation. I am going on." For an instant he felt the fluttering pressure of her fingers on his. It was an answer 1,000 times more precious to him than words, and he knew that he had won. Still lower he bent his head, until for an instant his lips touched the soft, living warmth of her hair. And then he leaned back, freeing her hand, and into his face had leaped soul and life and fighting strength, and under his breath he gave new thanks to God, and to the sun, and the blue sky above, while from behind them came skimming over the water the slim birch bark canoe of Jean Jacques Croisset. CHAPTER VI.